Hello, and welcome to Hollis Hands Create. My name's Christine, and this is my inaugural video for FlossTube. And I hope that you'll enjoy the show and you'll come back to visit with me again. A little bit about me. I've been stitching, I guess, really since late middle school, early high school, so almost 40 years. I guess that kind of gives you a little bit about my age. Have three adult kids. My husband and I transferred to North Texas, the DFW area, a couple of years ago. So we've lived in about 5 or 6 different states. I'm originally from the Kansas City area, and my husband's from Philly. So we are not bi-coastal, but halfway across the country. Do a lot of traveling back and forth to visit families. My 3 kids, I have one daughter who lives in Italy, a daughter who lives in Seattle, Washington, and a son who lives in Missouri, is going to school at Missouri State. So we're fairly dispersed all over. I have a new kitten. We have an older cat, Sierra. She's my rag doll. She's kind of my baby. And then I just rescued a new little kitten this past Friday, and we named her Sadie. So that's kind of what I do, hang here, do some stitching, take care of my kittens, and I actually also run an Etsy shop. So some of you may know the name Hollis Hands Create if you've purchased from me before. On Instagram, I have the Hollis Hands Create handle, and then also some of you may know me as McMama Hollis. McMama kind of came about from my oldest, who, I don't know, started calling me that probably when she was like 13 or 14, and then all her friends started calling me that, and so that has become the nickname that still my kids' adult friends call me that. We've got a couple of group texts that still exist, believe it or not, even though the kids have been out of high school for, I guess, 10, 15 years. And their friends still call me McMama Hollis. So that's how that kind of came about. Today, I kind of wanted to show you a few things that I have kind of hanging about. I'm not one to jump right to Christmas from Halloween. I do put up a few things. I leave all my fall decorations out, and then kind of switch things. Fall comes out at the beginning of September, and then I add, at the beginning of October, I add Halloween, and then at the beginning of November, the Halloween specific things go down, and the Thanksgiving specific things come up, and but the general fall things kind of stay, you know, the pumpkins and topiaries and different things like that. So thought I would just show you a couple of things that I do have around. Everybody might recognize this one. This is Delivering Plenty from Homespun Elegance, and it's really cute. I love this little brass squirrel gathering his acorns. My husband, I did say it's really cute. My husband says that every stitcher's motto should be, "It's so cute. That's so cute." He says that we all know the word cute exceptionally well. He's probably right. And then the other one that I have that's kind of hanging around is from Needlework Press. I stitched this back in 2015, and it's Gobble. I really love this one. It was done on 35 count Cafe Kona, which is an R&R fabric, an R&R linen. And then I just had this open frame, and after starting, it sat unfinished for a couple years, and then after starting to watch Priscilla and Chelsea, I got the idea that, you know what, I don't have to frame every single piece. So I mounted this on a board, laced it, and then it's actually just applied with, we can see there's a Velcro strip. So if I want to apply something else to this open frame, then I can. kind of have a few things that are actually sitting behind me as well. There's Autumn by Lizzie Kate, and I have an Olga's Tart sitting back here, you know, as well. So, not a lot of Thanksgiving things that are out there to even stitch. I don't tend to stitch things that are cartoony, and so right now you'll see a lot of, you know, like the gobble cartoon type, you know, designs, and I tend to go more for things that are a little more primitive in style. Okay. So, like I said, not as much in the way of the Thanksgiving items. Next one, hopefully I'll be able to show you a few more things that are hanging up as I bring out all the Christmas decorations. And speaking of Christmas, that'll kind of take me into what I'm working on currently. And let's see. Right now, I just picked up Jack Frost's Tree Farm. My Little House Needleworks. You can see where I'm too. I actually am going to do something a little differently. I'm just stitching the original part 1, but I'm going to not stitch this little part here. The Jack Frost Tree Farms with the trees, you see I already have that in the sign, and the house with the little guy. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take the truck and I'm going to put it in where the deer was, so that it looks like the truck is actually pulled up to the tree farm to pick up the tree. So the truck will be over here on this side. I think it'll be really cute. There's that word again, cute. So what I tend to do is I pick like 3 or 4 things out of my whip basket that I work on for that specific time, or if I've got a kind of a deadline, I want to get this tree farm done. I actually already have what I'm going to finish it on that I happened to see actually at Walmart. They kind of have upped their game a little bit in some of their decorations for each season, and so I happened to be kind of flying through the section that they had I guess a bunch of decorations, and this was like really early. They probably had them out a month ago, and I happened to see this wooden sign with trees, and I thought, oh, you know what, that'll be perfect for that Jack Frost Tree Farm. So I'll show that to you all whenever I get it all finished. But I picked like several things that are just for the season, and kind of work on those and concentrate on the one that I might want to get finished first if I want to try to display it. And then, so Jack Frost Tree Farm, obviously I want to get that out here pretty quick because now's the time when everybody is, you know, getting their trees. And then I kind of move to other things that I want to display based on, you know, what I want to put out for my decor, and try to get those finished. Sometimes I can get them finished, sometimes, you know, I can't, and then I'll move on to something else. So my next one that I'm working on happened to actually be part of Michelle Rudy's Stitch 9 Challenge, Farm Girl. And this one is The Old Winter by the Primitive Hare. And I'm stitching him on Isabella's, her fabrics. This is 30 count winter flakes. And I really love it. Here's the design. I'll show you the design, the chart. So this is the chart. Now instead of 1536 with the crown in here, I'm actually going to put in the year I finish it. So if it's this year, it'll be 2019, and if it's next year, it'll be 2020. There's really not a ton of intense stitching, and I've just picked this back up. So I might be able to get this one finished this year. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So those are the two that I'm really concentrating on. I have a third, which I'll show you. And this one's super popular right now. And I forgot to bring the pattern out, but anyway, this is the Primitive Merry Christmas pillow that Abby Rose Designs just put out. And I'm actually using all of the called for, in addition to the fabric. I went in and it called for the PTP brash. And I didn't think I had any, and I was digging through my linen, and gosh, sure enough, I actually had a smaller piece. So I pulled that out and cut it, and I just started that. And that should go pretty quickly as well. So those will be the three that I kind of concentrate on probably in the next, week to 2 weeks. I kind of call it what's in my lap today. So, and that's kind of about it for that part of it. I will kind of go through. I'm actually this is my 1-year anniversary for my Etsy shop. It's actually been opened longer than 1 year, but prior to jumping into the cross-stitch supplies world, needlework supplies, before that I just had things that I had made, like rag quilts, baby items, some completed cross-stitch, which I actually still do. I've got a couple of customers who will message me to ask for like a specific, right now I'm doing a lot of the Lizzie Kate Flip It monthly series for one lady, and I finish them for her, and she stitches, but she said she happens to like just the way that I finish them, so she has had me stitch one of those for her and finish it for her each month. So we're working on December now. I'll have that done in the next couple of days and out to her. But I decided about a year ago that I wanted to add the cross-stitch supplies and just really make this, my job. We've moved from Pennsylvania to Minnesota to Kansas City, and then Kansas City to Texas, all since 2013. So each of those places, with the exception of Minnesota, which we didn't live there long enough for me to actually even really get a job. I've had to leave jobs though in the other places, and so when we got here, I was like, okay, you know what, I'm going to do something different, and that's when I decided to really do something with the cross stitch, because that's just something I've done for such a long time. I actually also do some crochet and some quilting and things like that, but cross stitch has always been the constant throughout all that time. So occasionally, if I'm showing you some things, it may be some other projects that that I will show from time to time. I've got lots of different things in my whip pile or my whip basket for each one of those things, whether it be the crochet, the cross stitch, or quilting. So I'll show those occasionally as well. I hope today's inaugural is going to be pretty short. So I hope that you'll come back and visit with me again. And I don't know that I'm going to have just a regular schedule, but probably, every couple of weeks. I don't want to come back too soon where, I don't have enough progress or things to actually show. But I wanted to make your introduction, as Forrest Gump would say, happy to make your introduction. And I hope you'll come back and visit with me again. Thank you so much.